In the Water and Sewer Department, payroll was actually less than 2008, but we had an increase in power and chemical costs that contributed to a slight increase in expenses. I hope and think that with the changes we've made in our rate structure, not just the rate, we had a rate increase, but we also changed the structure of our water and sewer finances, that we should see some increase in revenue in 2009. I will talk about some overall reductions, but before I leave water and sewer, I will tell you that that department, we had been carrying several positions, but we've actually eliminated 13 positions out of about 115 positions in total. So we've really had about a 10% cutback in manpower, trying to keep our expenses in line with revenue. Now, what have we done overall in terms of reductions in the city? Some of this we started in 07, some we did in 08, some we're doing in 09. But I thought it would be important for the public as well as you to remind you of what all we have done. We do have many vacant positions that are not being filled, and we plan to continue that. In fact, we are eliminating a lot of positions that haven't been filled for the past couple of years. We have capital projects and capital equipment purchases are being eliminated or delayed. That's already taken place, and we are looking at more. Education reimbursement has been eliminated. Take-home vehicles have been reduced. Certain positions are being eliminated. Some full-time positions are being converted to part-time. In the city manager's office, one of our secretarial people has gone from being full-time to half-time. And the city management office and our staff is working with the county on all of our joint efforts that we have to try to reduce any expenses that we have in the things that we do jointly. So I think we are certainly thinking a lot about our financial situation and doing all we can to try to reduce that. Now, some of the positive things that did take place in 08, and there were a number of those. One is that our landfill fund, which is a joint city-county operation, the fund balance increased by $1.2 million. Now, most of that is reserved for post-closure expenses, but that's certainly a positive sign. That's a lot better than we did in 07. Our group health program, as you know, we're self-insured for our group health insurance, and we were $320,000 under budget for expenditures in that area of our in that fund. The number of traffic accidents was down 8.6%. Traffic injuries were down 4.3%, and there were no fatalities in the city of Rome this year. We also had no fire deaths, and we had no murders. I don't know that we've ever had a year where there were no murders, no fire deaths, and no traffic fatalities. It almost sounds like a miracle, but that was a very good thing. And I mentioned that in the terms of enforcement because my experience over the years has shown me that when enforcement is up, accidents are usually down. So the next time, Evie, that you get that speeding ticket, just know that we're trying to protect you and save your life.
Am I the whole 2.8%?
Yeah, you might be. You might be. No, I don't think it's that bad. Along that same vein, though, our DUI arrests were up 9.1% and speeding was up to 2.8%. Another positive thing is that our tourism office had a very successful year with River Days celebration in the spring and ended with a very successful NAIA football championship game in December. And their figures show that the numbers for 2008 were better than 2007. Some city projects that were completed during the year, I guess the big one that we've been working on for a number of years was the wastewater treatment plant. We've certainly talked about that a lot, but I thought for one more time it was worth reminding us that was a $38 million project. It had some SPLOST money, but mostly bond money. We did spend some money from within our water and sewer fund, but that is a major undertaking. The picture there you see was at our dedication. We had a very nice dedication back in the spring. But that plant does give us a lot of surplus capacity and hopefully will allow us to meet permit for a number of years to come. Another project, not nearly as expensive but as important, was the South Rome Boys and Girls Club. This was a combination of SPLOST money, entitlement money from the city, and CDBG money from the county. Very good example of a combination of efforts to get a very good project done. That's open and running. There have been some very successful programs there, and we look forward to that being there for many years. We opened the Chief Ross Memorial Bridge, John Ross Memorial Bridge, and that was the culmination of a lot of effort and time. Was talked about and discussed and debated an awful lot. I think everybody sees that as being a real asset to the community. Again, though, a joint city-county DOT project. Another SPLOST project that was completed was the right turn lane at North Broad. I think everybody that goes through that intersection every day realizes that's a great improvement. And another project that was done at no expense to the city was a project by Regions Bank where they call the Green Bike Program, where we have bikes around town now that people can rent and ride to various places and then bring them back or leave them at several different places. And each time, I hope you have picked up on just about every one of these projects were not things that we did by ourselves. It was either something we did with DOT, something we did with the county, something we did with some other agency or some. So a lot of what we do on the capital side is a combination of city with other partners. Some projects that are currently underway is the parking deck, which in this picture looks like it's just about finished, but it does have some more work to do. I think it's planned to be finished by the end of March. Again, that's a joint effort by the city and county. You'll have about 380 parking spaces. One thing that I learned last week when Sammy and I were meeting with Ann Arnold about the management agreement on this on the deck is that we had originally set up to lease 130 spaces on a monthly basis. They've already got those leased and have a waiting list. So we are looking at increasing the number of monthly spaces we'll have available. But that's good. Very good sign that there is a demand for those spaces. This is a sidewalk project. Is an example of some of the projects that we've been doing with our red light camera funds. You know, we made the commitment when we put up the first red light camera at Turner McCall and Hicks Drive that we would dedicate that money to sidewalks and trails. And so we've lived up to that. This is probably the biggest project that we've done. This connects North Rome to the Etowah Park. The railroad overpass on Martha Berry Boulevard of 27 North, that is not, thankfully that was a project that DOT did completely with state funds. That project's been on the books for 25 years. I know in fact, it's been on there longer than that because it was on there before I got to be city manager. And I remember when we first started, the city was going to have to buy the right-of-way and do some other things, and thank the Lord that the state saw fit to take that over and buy all the right-of-way because I never thought it would demand as much right-of-way as it ended up taking. But that's going to be a great improvement to that area of the city. It does two things. It improves the traffic flow, but by raising the height of the bridge, it really is going to make a difference as far as being able to get mainly tractor trailers through there without getting hung up.